Okay, well, first of all, really proud of our players. A night where just about anything and everything went wrong. We found a way to win, got into overtime, and had a clutch play, obviously, to Josh Malone. Did a good job on third down defensively, particularly in the fourth quarter into overtime. But I also credit App State, Coach Satterfield. A lot of respect for that football program. We knew that it was going to be a great challenge. You don't win 17 out of your last 19 games and just expect to come in here. They're a physical, tough football team, very, very active in their defensive front, which causes some issues up front. But, for us, the formula for winning never changes, and I thought we did some things that were very, very uncharacteristic of us that we're going to have to get corrected in a hurry, particularly taking care of the football. We had to take care of the football. Special teams, we had to do a much better job, and we had some youngsters on that group, and I think they found out the speed of the game is a little bit different. I thought our tackling was very poor, didn't wrap and run our feet and drive for 5, and again, a line of scrimmage. But again, at the end of the day, we found a way to win the football game. We had some players step up, make some critical plays. I thought Cortez McDowell did a great job of really stepping up in a needed situation, and not only on defense but on special teams as well. Aaron Medley did a good job. First time with things with a new holder, a new snapper, short snapper and long snapper. All those things that go into the kicking game. I thought those individuals, being in some stressful situations, did a pretty good job that way. But first game of the year, the game is always a game of the unknowns. We're still developing our identity for this football team, but we found a way to win, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. We have to get a lot better, but credit App State to their really good football team. So.
Go ahead, Paul. Raise your hand again.
Butch, up front, the offensive line, what do you think went wrong there, especially on the interior? Seemed like they really
Well, with their scheme, they move it a lot, so they relied on their quickness, and I thought that was really evident. We knew the ability to sustain blocks is going to be a challenge just because of their quickness up front, and they do a good job schematically of, they were a little undersized in terms of weight, so they moved the front on every snap and use their quickness, and I thought they did a really good job with that.
Jimmy and Grant?
Butch, in terms of your first down production, it looked like you struggled in that regard. What do you think happened here?
I think it's just a combination of being behind the sticks. We made way too many mental errors. We have to throw the ball away at the end of the first half and get 3 points. Again, we did some things that were very uncharacteristic, and for us to consistently win football games, it starts obviously with winning first down and first down efficiency, obviously third down, but taking care of the football, playing field position, and playing good special teams. That's a formula for winning football games. And, we didn't particularly do that very well, and credit our opponent, credit them. They did a good job, but you have to control what we can control, and that's taking care of the football, and we've proven that over time here that we do that. And so we have to get those things corrected. And I'll know a little bit more when I go back tonight and watch the video of where we went wrong. Usually it's 2 years of experience. It's one individual missing a block or doesn't have a great aiming point, or a running back missing a run. I don't know. I'll know more when we have our press conference.
Which, how much was their offense? How much does that scheme keep you off balance, or was it just your defense not executing?
I think they did a great job. They had a game plan, almost very similar to North Texas last year, of running the 40-second clock down. And that's a great teach lesson for your team. And a lot of times when that happens, you can become almost in panic mode. And again, that's what we talked to our team at halftime about. It's just, playing one snap at a time. So I thought they had a great game plan in terms of milking the clock down and using it, taking kind of the momentum away from you, taking the crowd out of the game at times. And again, like I told our football team at halftime, we had to create the momentum because, the way they controlled the clock.
Seth, Bryce, and Austin?
You mentioned that the tackling was poor on defense and special teams. Could some of that be attributed to the lack of tackling done during the fall camp? And I know you're trying to keep guys healthy and stuff, so can you attribute to that, some of it? How do you walk that line and keeping guys healthy and getting ready for that first game?
It is, but I talked to 15 coaches, and we actually tackled more live than they did. And we charted every rep of live tackling. I think it was habits, fundamentals, not running our feet. Obviously, we have to take great strides from week 1 to week 2. We'll continue to do that. But, you know, we have to do a better job with it. And it's wrapping, and also it's getting population to the football ball. You know, a lot of times you become a really good tackling football team because you're getting 8, 9, 10 hats to the football. And at times we weren't able to do that. We knew coming in with their zone schemes, they do a great job of cut blocking the backside and really dividing your defense. So I'm really anxious to see how that was when we watched the video. But I think we do have to get back to more tackling. And again, we pride ourselves in being a physical football team, and I thought they controlled the line of scrimmage most of the game.
With the controlling the line of scrimmage, was that surprising to you that they were able to do that? Is some of that maybe just kind of getting used to maybe some of the changes with the strength and conditioning program?
No, it's the scheme.
Just all the
You know,
scheme?
when you cut blocking, they do a great job of dividing it. They've done it against everybody. They do a great job with the outside zone and dividing it. You know, again, they do a great job in the movement and all that. I'm never going to apologize for a win, guys. I think we've learned around here wins are pretty hard to come by. And never apologize for a win. And I'm proud of our players because they found a way to win a football game. Do we have to get a lot better? Absolutely, we have to get a lot better. It starts with me, it starts with our coaches, it starts with our players, it starts with everyone in the organization. But we found a way to win a football game, and you know, with everything and anything that could go wrong, we found a way to win. And to me, that's critical. If you look at the mark of good football teams, they find ways to win football games when they don't play their best.
John and then Austin.
Butch, some of the struggles that you had on offense, not deficiencies or whatever, how many of those had you seen over the course of preseason camp? And then I guess part B, did App State do something specific to take away Josh's legs? Or I think maybe he only had 7 true runs of his rush attempt. So were they doing something different, or were you guys trying to run him a little less?
Well, to answer your first question, that's what's always tough with first games is when you break training camp and you play the first game, you really don't know how good you are on one side of the ball as opposed to the other side of the ball because you're practicing against yourself all the time. So I'll know a little bit more of where we went wrong and the things we need to do to get better once I watch the video. Again, some of the things they took away, the quarterback runs with the fronts and also the movement of the front.
Austin and Rob.
Butch, can you talk about Micah Abernathy and the game he had tonight? It looks like he was always in the right position.
He was, and we asked a lot of Micah, not just from the safety position on defense, but also from special team standpoint as well. And I thought he played very, very well. Know, again, a little bit more, but just very, very consistent, and that's kind of what you expect from Micah.
Rob.
Coach, just in terms of momentum, how big do you think Cam's fumble in that punt was? And his defense had just snuffed them out quickly. Stadium's ready to explode.
Right.
Boom, and then they get the ball at 36-yard line.
Yeah, football is a game of momentum, and you're responsible for what you create. And you know, for us, that's sudden change. You have to embrace sudden change on defense, and you go and you take the challenge and you 3 points. You know, we didn't play particularly well offensively in the red zone, scoring touchdowns. We had to kick field goals. So again, there's a lot of teaching to be done off of this video.
And you mentioned Cortez coming in and playing well when he had to. What did you feel Jalen's absence? I mean, was there kind of a hole there just from what he brings in terms of leadership?
Jalen brings a lot. Obviously, when he went out, but that's football. Next man in, and that's part of what we're talking about the competitive depth. You know, again, I thought Cortez really stepped up and did some good things. It was great to see that.
We'll finish up with Patrick Ryan and Mike Griffin and Wes.
Butch, speaking of Jalen, what was your take on that play? Did you think it was targeting, and did you really get an explanation about the call and the decision?
Yeah, you know, it's. I'm really interested to see it. I've had a number of calls from coaches already. That's why I was a little bit late, and they thought it was a 50-50. I'm all for player safety, I think, first and foremost, but it was a strange play to begin with because the returner called for a fair catch right when the ball was kicked. So, you know, here's a young man trying to make a play, and, you know, he's trying to play hard. And I'm all for player safety, but also, you know, this is a senior that's trying to give his all and play hard. And, you know, I hope that there was discretion and it's reviewable. So I trust that they'll get it right. They better have. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Rhiannon? Okay, Mike?
Coach, just talk about the mentality moving forward. I mean, obviously, it's a frustrating one. I know it's a win, but it's not the way you wanted to enter the game. Certainly, you talked about a fast start. If there's anything but sure.
I've never been a part of a frustrating win. A win is a win. Again, in this profession, you have 12 opportunities to win. Again, I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of our players. I thought they showed some resiliency. Again, to educate y'all, we played a really good football team. You don't win 17 out of 19 games if you're not a good football team. And I have the utmost respect for them. Did we do some things that were uncharacteristic? Absolutely. And I can guarantee you this, we will get them corrected. I think there's a lot of many great teaching points that come of that we have to get corrected. But again, we found a way to win.
We have Wes and the gentleman right here. I'll let you out. Go ahead, Wes.
Which was a couple of those defensive linemen didn't play, I guess Alexis and Kyle Phillips. Anything to that, or just not quite ready to go?
I think the game, the flavor of the game, how the game dictates the flow of the game, a lot goes into that.
Same thing with Tuttle, I suppose.
Yeah, again, Shai's done a good job, but we're going to put him out there when he's 100%. And with all the cut blocking and all the things that they do, and they do a great job of it, we want to make sure he's ready to go for